So we know how people in power and conservatives use culture wars in order to distract and diffuse us from challenging institutions of power, right? And I want to talk about how the attacks on trans and LGBT people factor into this. The first time I was ever hit on by a grown man, I was about 13 or 14 years old. I still had braces in my teeth. And if you ask a lot of women about the first time that they had encountered something like that, they will often say 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. When I was in my early 20s and I worked as a waitress on an outdoor cafe, there was a man that would park on the side of the street, and we realized that he was pleasuring himself to the waitresses that were going back and forth on the sidewalk. I can't tell you how many stories I and almost every woman I know have about things like this. And when you actually look at who's committing this abuse, it's majority straight men. Many of these disgusting and insinuating attacks on trans and LGBT people are actually projections of what predatory, cisgender, and often straight men do when left alone in the presence of women, or sometimes horribly, children. So instead of getting you to challenge the patriarchy, they're trying to get you to challenge the very gender expressiveness that challenges patriarchy. Don't get it twisted, because a lot of people attacking drag are projecting.
You know what, guys, man? She is just bat-ass crazy. She really is, man. And pardon my language, but she really is just crazy. AOC, man, there's something wrong with that girl. Wrong with her. You know, but the thing is, the majority of men, period, are straight. I mean, period. They're straight. So, again, the majority of anything is going to be committed by straight men. Because the majority of men, the vast majority of men are straight. The majority of men that went to work this morning are straight. The majority of men that got speeding tickets are straight. The majority of men that whatever, man, that called their mom, that called their dad, that called their wife, they're straight. They're straight. The majority of men that did anything are straight. So that's one thing we have to be honest about. And AOC, man, she doesn't really want to be honest about that stuff, man. She doesn't want people to think. I mean, she just wants people to think beyond what she says. And that's why, again, man, intellectually dishonest. But also, man, she wants to paint it one way. Like women are the absolute victims of anything. And that's not true. Number one, man, I talk about the sexual stuff. There are women out there. There are these 40-year-old teachers. They go after 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. The guys, man, they're out there inviting them to their houses, doing whatever. And you're seeing them more and more happening now. But it was happening 30 years ago when I was, 16 or so. I mean, it was happening then. But again, man, you're seeing it more and more now. It's coming out more and more, but it was happening years ago. And also, man, the not even talking about just sex stuff, but so many men, especially with the ones that are beyond a certain age, man, they have absolute horror stories about the women in their lives. And, starting a lot of times with Obama, Mama was crazy. Mama wouldn't let them do something. Mama tried to break them and their girlfriends up. Mama was controlling. Whatever, man. You had that, number one. And number two, there were guys who were, crazy ex-girlfriend type stories. And also, man, guys that are, my age, middle age, man, they went through divorces, that kind of stuff. Man, they got all kinds of horror stories. They'll tell you that they lost all their money. Man, they ended up having to pay for a house that she was still living in. Even sometimes living in the house with the guy that she ended up cheating on him with. But he had to pay for that. He wasn't allowed to see their kids. There's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of stories, man, that are out there from the other side. But she wants to just pick on the one, man, and then talk about the patriarchy. We got to focus on the patriarchy because that's where the real problem is. No, it's not. The real problem is not in the patriarchy. There is no patriarchy. There is absolutely no patriarchy. None at all, man. Majority of men, they're led around by their you-know-what. By the women that they're having sex with. Again, man, I forgot what the percentage was, but the majority of women control married women control the finances in the family. They control the money, even when they're not the ones making the money. They still control the money. So again, don't even talk to me about the patriarchy. It's just a bunch of BS, man. And the guys that do excel and make it, beyond whatever, they're controlled by the women in their lives, man. So again, they're trying to please mama still. So they're being controlled by that, but also, man, you see so many of these 25, 30, 35-year-old, 40-year-old guys, even sometimes, that are living in mama's basement. They're playing video games. They never started. They never became anything. Majority of college graduates are female. The majority of college students are female now. So again, man, yeah, I mean, there are all kinds of stuff and she's talking about the patriarchy. I mean, what planet does she live on? And she wants you to buy into this. She wants people to buy into this and not even question what she's saying, because again, man, she's making talking points that the Democrats have been using for years. And she wants you to buy it. She doesn't want you to question anything at all, man. She wants you to just go along with what she's saying, and yeah. But no, man, don't question that. Look at it a little bit further. Look at it deeper, because you'll find something there that what she's saying doesn't actually make sense. But hey, guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a